What if the moon fell to Earth? The lunar apocalypse that could end humanity. Imagine waking up and seeing the night sky, but the moon isn't there. Instead, a gigantic celestial body is moving ever closer, growing larger day by day in your field of vision. What seemed like science fiction becomes reality. The moon is falling to Earth. What would happen to our planet? Would there be any survivors? What would life be like after this catastrophic event? This is possibly one of the most extreme scenarios science has ever considered, and today we'll explore each phase of this cosmic apocalypse in detail. If you think asteroids are scary, wait until you learn about the consequences of the moon falling to Earth. Before we begin, don't forget, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our videos on science, astronomy, and the mysteries of the universe. Now, prepare yourself for a journey through what could be the most destructive event in human history. The beginning of the end. The moon leaves its orbit. Our natural satellite has orbited Earth for approximately 4.5 billion years, maintaining an average distance of 384,000 kilometers from Earth. But what if something were to disrupt this perfect balance? Let's consider three possible scenarios. Scenario 1. A massive object collides with the moon. A rogue asteroid or planet with sufficient mass could knock the moon out of its stable orbit, sending it hurtling toward Earth. Scenario 2. A gravitational anomaly. An unexplained fluctuation in the solar system's gravitational field could fundamentally alter the dynamics of the Earth-Moon system. Scenario 3. Technological interference. In a more speculative scenario, an advanced civilization could deliberately repurpose the moon as a weapon or experiment. Regardless of the cause, the first signs would be subtle but alarming. The moon would appear slightly larger in the night sky. Astronomers would notice changes in its orbit. The tides would begin to exhibit anomalous behavior. The final approach, the sky turns into a nightmare. As the moon approaches, its gravitational effects would intensify exponentially. Tidal effects. Giant waves, tsunamis 300 to 500 meters high, would sweep across coastal areas. Cities like New York, Tokyo, and Rio de Janeiro would be completely submerged. Global sea levels would fluctuate chaotically. Geological activity. Earthquakes measuring over 10 on the Richter scale would shake entire continents. Dormant volcanoes like Yellowstone would erupt cataclysmically. New geological faults would open across the planet. Atmosphere and climate. Supersonic winds over 1,000 kilometers per hour would devastate the surface. Global storms of unprecedented intensity. Increased electrical activity in the atmosphere. Continuous lightning. The impact, the hour of judgment. When the moon finally collided with Earth, the energy released would be unimaginable. Impact data. Collision speed, 40,000 kilometers per hour. Energy released, 10 joules, equivalent to 10 billion Tsar Bomba bombs. Instantaneous temperature, approximately 20,000 degrees Celsius at the point of impact. Immediate consequences. The Earth's crust would be vaporized at the impact site. A supersonic shockwave would sweep across the planet. Chunks of the Earth's crust would be ejected into space. Oceans would evaporate, creating a superheated atmosphere. The entire surface would become a sea of magma. The post-impact world, the eternal winter. After the collision, survivors, if any, would face planetary changes. Fusion of the moon with Earth, forming a new planetary body. Significant loss of atmosphere to space. Radical change in the rotation axis and length of the day. Climate effects. Impact winter lasting centuries. Blockage of sunlight by atmospheric dust. Global temperature drop to minus 50 degrees Celsius or lower. Biological consequences. Mass extinction of 99% of species. total collapse of the food chain, cosmic radiation without atmospheric protection, human survival, a near impossible struggle. In an extremely optimistic scenario where some humans survive in deep shelters, challenges, lack of natural resources, clean water, breathable air, radiation and extreme surface temperatures, necessity of underground cultivation for generations, loss of all accumulated technological knowledge, necessary adaptations, development of artificial photosynthesis, creation of self-sustaining closed ecosystems, genetic modifications for radiation resistance, highly efficient recycling systems. The science behind the nightmare. Although it's an extremely unlikely scenario, the physical principles involved are real. Orbital mechanics. The Moon is currently moving away from Earth at 3.8 centimeters per year. Colossal energy would be required to reverse this movement. Impact physics. The kinetic energy involved is comparable to that of the impact that formed the Moon. The event would instantly create a new geological era. Astrobiology. Studies show that impacts of this magnitude can sterilize planets. Life would need to start over from scratch in such a scenario. Final reflections. The fragility of our existence. This mental exercise reminds us that Earth is a tiny speck in a hostile cosmos. Our civilization is incredibly fragile in the face of cosmic forces. We must cherish and protect our only home in the universe. And you? What do you think of this apocalyptic scenario? Leave a comment with your thoughts on how humanity could survive such a catastrophe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Remember, as long as the Moon remains in its stable orbit, we can sleep soundly, but the universe always has surprises in store for us.